And BC is launching an independent review of its post-secondary education system. Now, the move comes after a decline in international and domestic enrollment, leading to financial pressures at several public institutions. Joining us now is Jessie Sunner, BC's Minister of Post-Secondary Education and Future Skills. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Amy. Thanks so much for having me.
So what did prompt this review?
So we've seen for a number of years now that our public post-secondary institutions are still reeling really from a lot of the effects of COVID, but we've seen a lot of domestic enrollment declining. We've also seen just economic pressures across the, not just the province, but the country and really worldwide, really increasing. And the significant impacts that we've seen is the federal government has unilaterally changed and reduced international student visas. And we've seen a decline of about 70% in international student visas for public post-secondary institutions, which has had a significant impact on the revenue portfolios and outlooks for public post-secondary institutions. And it's been, in this sector is often when their institutions are self-sufficient and they're able to return even revenues. And we're in a place now where the majority of public post-secondary institutions are actually projecting deficits, whether it's 1 year or year over year. And it's just, it's unsustainable. And we needed to look at the whole sector to ensure that we're looking at the sector holistically and that we're looking at the ecosystem of the sector rather than institutions making decisions, one-off for their individual institutions about how to deal with these deficits. We need to look at the entire sector, and that's really what prompted this review.
And what exactly will the review entail? Who will be involved with it and such?
Yeah, so the review is being led by an independent individual named Don Avison. So Don Avison comes with many, many years of experience in the public post-secondary sector. He was a former deputy minister in the Ministry of in post-secondary education. He was a former chair of a university as well as the former chair of the Research University Council of BC. So comes with depth, years of experience. He'll be the one that's meeting with institutions, students, staff, faculty, to really see what are the options that are available to us as government and what are we able to do to ensure in the short term we're supporting institutions, but in the long term we have that sustainability for the sector in a way that we can stand on our own 2 feet and not be at the whims of federal government changes or anything else that can have such severe impacts on our institutions.
And Minister, are you able to break down a bit just where we sit with current funding?
So currently we allocate $3.1 billion to this ministry. So it's not a small ministry. That's what goes into our sector. And since we formed government in 2017, we've actually increased operating grants for institutions by $1.2 billion, in addition to also increasing grants and student loans. So it's a significant amount of money that's in the sector. And we just want to really make sure that it's meeting the needs of students. It's going to ensure affordable and accessible access for students no matter where they are in the province, and that we can cut down on any kind of duplication or anything that's happening in the sector where as many dollars as possible aren't going to the front lines.
Okay. Now, earlier this month, the BC announced an investment of $241 million over 3 years to expand trades training to boost skilled labor that's needed for several major proposed projects. How does this sort of factor into the occasion, or does it factor into the equation?
Yeah, so this is something it was a historic announcement where it's the largest amount of funding to go into skilled trade sector in over 20 years. And we know that we need these skilled tradespeople to build our province, to be that economic engine of Canada. And this, what we heard from institutions is that there was long wait lists and institutions were making difficult decisions about what programming to continue and, looking at the costs of programming. And we know trades training is a lot more expensive to administer than some other programs. So we really wanted to make sure institutions knew that we were supporting them and that to not cut programs that are so needed and where we have wait lists across the province. And that's what this funding will really support, that and will support institutions across our province.
And when can we expect to maybe see the results of the report and then its recommendations?
So the report recommendations will be coming out in March 15th, 2026. So a quick turnaround here.
All right. And what do you hope to sort of achieve by the end of that review?
We hope to really come up with concrete recommendations that we can move forward with and implement in a quick manner to really help with the long-term sustainability of the sector. And I'm so sorry, Amy, but the bells in the legislature have rang, and
Okay.
I have to get to the chamber. But thank you so much for having me
Thank
today.
you for your time. Really appreciate it. That was Jessie Sunner joining us. She, of course, is the Minister of Post-Secondary Education and Future Skills.